Brakathia Howell, Brakathia Howell, Brakathia Howell. That's what I get. Brakathia Howell, Brakathia Howell, Brakathia Howell, Brakathia Howell, Brakathia Howell, Brakathia Howell, Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakal Kodash, the blindness of the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there. You Akim to Zadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. I'm the Priest Shaman, and this week's topic is going to be entitled You're Destined for More. The inspiration for the show comes from the fact that I was doing the rideshare app thing, and this passenger in the back, she looked like an Edomite, most probably likely was an Edomite. She asked me if I believed in the Most High. I said, yeah, I believe in God. And we get to talking, and she's like, oh, so this is it? This is, because I think I told her I turned down a particular job that it would just be too. I'd rather not do it. I'd rather not do it, even though I offered more money. I'd rather not do it because I like my free time, man. I already did fucking 12-hour shifts and shit, man. And that money ain't worth it, man, because you don't even get a chance to fucking live. But I didn't say all that to her. Anyways, she was like, you may not see it, but, you're destined for more. And I was like, well, that's a spirit that has to say that because, when you're doing this word, you are destined for more, but people don't see the larger picture. They see us as, guys that are not ambitious, because we don't strive to make it in the world as much as they do, or brothers could make it in the world in the sense of, have good jobs, be successful in this world, but they won't let that overtake them teaching, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to say, because brothers aren't derelicts on the streets or, and look, we are brothers that have been successful in the world and came in the truth, still successful now, so called, and brothers that know how to manage wealth, own businesses. We're not some, just a bunch of, oh man, the world's gonna be destroyed, so let me just live on the street. Nah, man, brothers have common sense. But if you're not going super hard with trying to make it in this world, in the sense that, you want 6 houses and all this type of shit, then the world's gonna see like what are you doing, So that was kind of the attitude she was giving me, like, yeah, I see that you're a hard worker, you're a smart guy, but you should be doing more, so you're gonna do more. But I'm just taking away what she said out of her mouth. Like, look, man, I know I'm gonna do more because, Lord willing, because I'm doing this work. I know I'm destined for more because this word has way much more to offer than anything I could strive for in this world that is deemed this success. This is 2 Timothy, the 4th chapter and the 7th verse. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. Final words of the Apostle Paul before he would be executed. He's pretty much saying he did the work. He fought the fight of faith, man. And it says, verse 8, henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day, and not to me only, but unto all them also that have loved his appearing. So the Apostle Paul was a learned man. He knew 3 languages, but he didn't strive to be somebody super into the world. Once Yahushua taught him, he understood, look, this is what it's about, man. It's about Ecclesiasticus, the 12th chapter, the 13th verse. Which he was doing that. He was serving the Most High. Because he was keeping the laws, the Pharisees did. But now, being a servant of Yahushua, now you got to teach this gospel. And there's no retirement plan. I'm going to teach 20 years and then retire and go back in the world. There's none of that shit. Once you come in this thing, you got to teach it pretty much till you on a chariot, man. All right? Whether in the physical, seeing the physical chariot and being delivered, or dying on this side and having your spirit go up there and be one of the first to inherit your seat on the chariot. So that's a great ambition, man. We want world domination, man. I don't want to just be the richest nigga on my block, or I'm some self-made billionaire. Fuck all that. All that shit could die over. Look at Kobe, man. Prime example. Not to knock on Kobe. Kobe was a cool cat. He did his thing. He was a phenomenal ball player. Excellent work ethic, right? But now that he's dead, he's gonna still be he's an Israelite, so he's still gonna be blessed in the kingdom, but he's not gonna be a part of the governing body. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, the world right now can't see what we see. You know, just like how they think we can't see what they see. Like, damn, man, yo, all this money out here, dog. Why don't you do this? Why don't you that? Why don't you get this job and that job? I got this job making 100,000 here, 500,000. Look, man, take the job, sure, right? But just don't take working time. So if the shit don't make sense, don't fucking do it. Cause what's the point? This place is gonna be destroyed anyways. You know what I'm saying? But if you get a good bag, it doesn't interfere with this work, and it's not stress on you. You know what I'm saying? So to speak. If you use discernment, man. Cause some of those jobs are just traps from Satan. You know what I'm saying? Certain positions are just traps from Satan to where, and we seen it, man. It ain't no. It's not a hyperbole. It's not a hyperbole. We seen people. It's not an exaggeration. We seen people got choked out this thing by this by the works, man. Jobs in society, and that's in the scriptures too. All right, talking about the it says how can he get wisdom that tendeth to the gold or the plot? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. His work is in the ox gold. All right, the same thing to the smith. They so indulge in their work that they never get a chance to attain wisdom because they don't have time to teach, do lessons, watch shows, so on and so forth, you know. St. John 6:27. Labor not for the meat which perisheth. What's the meat that perisheth? You know, the shit you see before you in this world. You know what I'm saying? Of course, scripture says money is a defense, and godliness with contentment is great gain. So we know we're going to have to be working, right? Shit, the Most High is not going to have you pay 10% if you don't have 10% to give. So we are going to be working in there. But you have certain people that just go overboard with it because they define that as success. You know what I'm saying? That's the world's definition of success. You know, how much wealth you have in these FRN notes. But that's not success according to the Bible, man. All right? It goes more than money for us, man. All right? It's about being a part of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua's elect and doing the things that the elect will do first and foremost. Everything else is secondary, man. Despite what the world might see in you. Oh, you have the talent to do this. You were a great musician. You were a talented athlete. You could have been a professor. Whatever, whatever the world. You was on the road to be a doctor. Why'd you stop? Well, I stopped because this PhD shit I have no time to teach. You know, that's what you're saying to yourself. If there's any doctors out there and such, you know what I'm saying? Not knocking the brothers that are, because you do have brothers in that school shit. Look, man, if that don't interfere with the work, then I'm not gonna knock you. You know, that's the primary thing. Do what you gotta do. You know, use the word, don't abuse it. But if anything interfere with this word or throwing your mindset off, just put it behind you, man. Despite what the world say, you know in your spirit, like, damn, yeah, this is setting me up for the world, but man, this shit is hindering the truth. And and that takes a thing of faith to just say, fuck it, I'm gonna choose in a thing that I can't see, because you can see that larger check or that college degree or whatever. You can see those things, but what about the thing you can't see? Which is the chariots coming back right. I mean, if you don't have the vision to see it, you know what I'm saying? Pardon me, if you can't see it right now tangibly with your eyes, we can't see giant chariots blowing up America right now, but we have faith in that. All right, we have the spiritual foresight, and that's the thing of faith, man. And I'm gonna go into a scripture that, look, even Moses saw that. It says, which perisheth not, but for the meat which endureth unto everlasting life, man. That's this word. It says, which the Son of Man shall give unto you, for him hath the Most High the Father sealed. And that all goes back in the second Ezra, the 4th chapter, 20 on down. Those receiving crowns upon their heads. Man, I just want to be with the Lord, like, to just say, look, Lord, I did it. I did what you told me to do. And I know brothers feel that way. Of course, all the splendor that's going to come with being in the elect is fuel and motivation. But to just say, look, man, when I was on this hellhole, the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua blessed me with faith to please him. You know what I'm saying? That would just be a great thing to say in the kingdom, man. Because look how many people in the world, billions. billions of people in the world, but the most only have 12,000 out of each tribe. How precious is that, man? Nothing. The shit that people chase for in this world ain't precious. FRNs and shit like that. What? Come on, that ain't precious, man. What, you want houses? That's not. All that's gonna get burnt up. But your name written in the book of life, that is a precious thing, man. That's something that endure forever. Even on to this day, we talk about Moses and Jeremiah, Isaiah, and Paul and John and Peter, all these brothers, man. Elijah and all the great, wonderful things they did. But guess what? During their time, you had kings that ruled the whole earth, man. But their names in the book of life. Right? You know what I'm saying? During the time of Moses, you had wealthy kings. What else? You had great monarchs in Jeremiah's days, Isaiah days, man, that was ruling over different parts of the world, man. Are they being spoken about like them brothers now? Nah. Because them brothers did the word of the Lord, and the Bible has over 1,000 manuscripts. This is the #1 book in the world, man. So many translations, so many interpretations. Everybody yearns to this book. And these men, these select few men, and not just them, you got other brothers, all right? They're what you call the written prophets, okay? And you got certain, but there was always prophets on the scene, man, you know? And they might have got a verse up in there with no mention of the name, but look, man, you was in there. So, fuck it. I just want to be on the list, as the Apostle Ricard said. I could be number 144,000th, the last, as long as I'm in that motherfucker, man. It's like in that motherfucker, as long as I'm part of that, I knew it was worth it, man. Being a part of the Most High's elect, Lord willing. All right? Which the 144,000 is in the body of the elect. But within that elect, there's another elect. So you see, there's levels to it. So there's an elect nation, right? Which is the nation of Israel. Within that elect nation, there's an elect deemed for salvation, which is the 1/3. And then within that 1/3, there's even another elect, the governing body, the 144,000. So tell me we're not ambitious, man. Come on, you kidding me? Damn, we got our eyes on the prize, man. So fuck what them people say. You know, but of course you just play along. Don't debate with them. Just, yeah, you're right. Hey, man, she ended up giving me a tip. I ain't argue with her. Put my views on her. Yeah, man, you know what, you're right. You know, I'm gonna put my mind to that. Boom, bam. You know, take his money, go about your business. You know? No, that's what I've learned. You know, just don't really debate with you could tell who's gonna just, you know, the scripture says, you know, do I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? And the scripture also go on in the book of the Apocrypha says, instead of a friend, be not an enemy. All right. So instead of being a friend, all right. Instead of a friend, be not an enemy. And I know that telling her this truth and telling her why, you know, look, man, the Bible said this, I'm gonna become an enemy. So I didn't become a friend with her, but I also didn't tell her the truth. I just played it cool, played it smooth, and got that tip and bounced. All right. 1 Corinthians 9:25. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things, is balanced. You know, you try to master something, you're balanced in it, right? Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, a gold medal, a championship belt, Super Bowl rings, and, you know, all this type of BS shit that they end up pawning off later in their career. But we, an incorruptible, all right? Wait a minute, what about that house you done labeled for? You know, few wrong moves, now your shit foreclosed. And your label was for nothing. There's so many shit in this world that Esau could take at any time. Wait a minute, you never truly own anything, really. Damn, I'm not, probably your car, maybe? You own your car, but you can't drive it unless you have insurance. I'm trying to think, what can you really own in this shit, man? You know what I'm saying? Like tangible assets that you could really earn. Because even if you get you a house, you got to pay property taxes. You can't drive your car without insurance. Esau got to get money out of you some way, somehow, man. You know? If you make too much money, then the IRS is going to look at you like, nah, we got to get a piece of that pie. So, you know, it's just a constant state of oppression. You're not really in a state of rulership. You know, just no matter what, you're a subservient slave. So we don't want that shit, man. You know, and the more you slave and try to make it, really, the more you give into the so-called white man, man. That's the fucked up part. The more you make, the more they take. And I remember Elder Zion once said this, man. I was like, man, that's just facts. I was like, that's 100% true. He was like, get more money, not more work, you know? I was consulting him about this particular position. It will be a higher position, but anytime you get higher up in a company, they're gonna desire more and more of your time, man. You know. And I was like, man, shit, you right, man. So I'm already, Hebrews 11 verse 20. Oh man, I had the precept too to the one after this. I could find it. Hebrews 11 20 24. Hebrews 11 and 24. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. Right? Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. I remember the Apostle Tahar said this, man, about Jay-Z and all these guys. Like, yeah, you sold out, but look, your people are still suffering. And that's what Moses thought. It's like, yeah, man, I'm sitting on this high. Look, no matter what you do in the society, you ain't gonna compare to what Moses had. You can't be on Moses' level. I don't care how much you sell out. The man was a king in Egypt. Second, he was a prince up in Egypt, man. He had all his heart's desires. But what? He didn't want to get that reproof from Yahweh Shah, as it says in verse 25. Choosing rather to, verse 26. Esteeming the reproach of Yahweh Shah greater riches than the treasures in Egypt. Yeah, so, Yahweh Shah, he said, look, man, Yahweh Shah, and Moses knew about Yahweh Shah because he prophesied about him. I'm going to get that precept. Esteeming the reproach of Yahweh Shah greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto recompense of the reward. So, he saw the greater picture, man, of, look, man, being a sellout ain't worth it, man, because, the Lord is going to look down upon me, man, and that took integrity and that took faith, and that's what that verse is about. And that's what we have, man, that we have faith that, look, man, the Lord, everything that we give up, as the Apostle Peter say, wives, whatever, whatever, we're going to receive 100-fold, man, all right? Which also proves that we're going to have multiple wives in the kingdom, man. If you have one wife and it says 100-fold, then guess what? You're going to have 100 wives, man. So, we see the greater picture. And it's only balanced, man, because guess what? We we can't never repay Yahweh Shah for what he did for us, man. He did so much for us by going on that cross. I'm trying to find a precept. Maybe one of these guys have it. Pretty much, Moses said, out of your brethren shall be one of them rulers. It's in Deuteronomy. Let me see if one of these guys commented on it. Here we go. Deuteronomy 18 and 15. The Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah, that power, raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me, unto him ye shall hearken. So, Moses understood that, look, the anointed Yahweh Shah is going to look down upon me, man, if I chose to be a sellout, right? It's much rather greater to suffer affliction with my people and be a part of his elect than to be the second greatest power in any society and being a sellout, man. All right. Again, that's not saying if brothers have high positions in this thing they can't come in, or because we have Daniel and Joseph as examples, but it's when you put the world and all that before the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? And give up your morals and your dignity and put the truth behind you to try to get a dollar. That's the shit that is frowned upon, man. Alright, with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, which you well. And salutations to the hopeful elect out there, man. You Akim to Sadakim that do this thing that most truth and sincerity. Shalom.